Hello and welcome to Fresh Perspectives. My name is Gail, and we're going to do a program today called Fit Fun February. And my guests are girls that have been on before. One of them is Heather Gregory. We wound up deciding to do this because the last time they were on, she mentioned she's a certified yoga instructor, so I asked them to come on to do that. And then we also have Trish Dragoo from the Cornell Cooperative Extension also. And she's going to teach us some Zumba moves today. Now, do you girls teach classes in these exercises?
I used to teach yoga in South Dayton primarily, and I was teaching a little bit in Gowanda before I started working for Cornell Cooperative Extension. But the big draw was that we were teaching nutrition and movement. So our sessions are an hour a week, and we can meet individuals or we meet in groups. And it's mostly nutrition based, but we do always feature just a short piece about movement or a game that you can play with your family. And that's my favorite part.
So how is it that you became a yoga instructor then?
Oh, well, I started, it's such a story. I was working on my family's dairy farm, and I got appendicitis. Oh. And so I couldn't milk cows for 10 days, and my kids were little, preschool age. So I was stuck on the couch, which wasn't, you know, at that age when you're a mom, you are not stuck on the couch. So I was watching TV with them, and they were in charge of the remote control, and they turned it on to Fit TV. And there was this yoga show called Namaste Yoga with Kate Potter. And it was beautiful. It was shot in Vancouver, and the music was fabulous. And I was like, gosh, you know, as soon as I can, I want to try that. So I did, and I fell in love with it. And then found it on social media, long story short, wound up working with them for a while. And that was when, you know, they were like, you know, they kept saying, you already are a yoga teacher, you've practiced this long. But I'd never gone to classes or been taught. I just was reading all kinds of books and, you know, working within that community. So when I was asked to teach in the community, I really wanted the certification. So I went through Yoga Fit, which is based in Canada, but also has branches in California. So I traveled around and got to get my certification, which was really fun. And I had no sooner, actually I finished my certification while I was working at Extension. I got hired at Extension before I finished my certification. But so a lot of my movement in my nutrition classes is yoga based, especially if I'm, you know, working with a participant and I see an area of tension or something that I think I can help them with, then I'll focus on that move and, or, you know, whatever that piece is that I think might help.
Okay. And Tricia, what about you? What's your story about Zumba?
So I'm not an instructor, but I like to move. And I'm not even, I've never even taken a dance class. But I don't like treadmills, I don't like exercise equipment. And in the winter, it's difficult to get out and actually run or walk. And so I like Zumba because it's fun, it doesn't really feel like you're exercising. And if you're doing it at home, and with YouTube, there's so many things on YouTube that you can find to do in the privacy of your own home. It doesn't matter how bad you are because nobody's going to see you. But even if you go to a class somewhere, you know, if you don't want people to watch you, just stand on the back. But chances are there are other people that are at the same level you are, and nobody really cares. You're just there to have fun and exercise.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Now you girls brought some infused water.
Yes, we did. So in our curriculums, one of our curriculum is family
nutrition education curriculum.
Yes. And it has a lesson about sugar sweetened beverages, and I think by now most people know that drinking pop is really bad for your health. If you're having 3 or 4 glasses of pop a day, the calories that you're adding is just a ridiculous amount. And so one of the things that we talk about in our lessons are infused waters. And so all this is just a jar of water, and I put some frozen blueberries and a couple pieces of lemon in it. You could put this together and put it in your fridge and leave it overnight. I didn't do that, so I thawed my blueberries a little bit, and then I mashed them with the lemon and then put it in, and it's this beautiful color. And there's no sugar in this other than what's in the blueberries. If you needed a little sweetness, you could add a little bit of honey, a little bit of maple syrup. You could add some monk sugar to it. You know, or even just a little bit of regular white sugar if you absolutely had to. But it's just a way to make water more interesting. A lot of people struggle with drinking water because it has no flavor and they don't like it. And this is just one way to make it better.
Yeah, you know, that is real easy for me to make because I always buy lemons because I like to have the lemon juice diluted with water in the morning, and we've got several quarts of blueberries in our freezer because we have blueberry bushes way too many to eat just in the summer. So
yeah,
so that is a beverage that I can make at home really easily. Yeah. Okay, and then I was noticing that Heather is wearing really cute socks. They're called yoga socks, I think. That
or toe socks. I'm not really sure. I got them for Christmas.
And they look like ballet shoes with your toes sticking out, and they are so cute. I wanted to make sure to point them out. Now, I guess we should get started with the exercise part of our program, and which one of you was going to start first?
Yeah, let me just explain, if you don't mind, how Fit Fun February came about. We talked a little bit about winter workouts being difficult, and it is. I like to run. I love to be outside, and winter is just hard because right now I live on a really rural road. So the plows come through, but we're not going to see pavement now until like March probably. So it's not safe for me to run at this point.
Yeah, you could either go cross-country skiing or snowshoeing.
Right. So yeah, those might be options. But so I'm kind of stuck inside, and ways to make that fun are, you know, seemingly few when you look at it on the surface. And I had a coworker who just got a Fitbit. And she's like, how do I get my steps in right now if I don't want to be outside? Do I just walk around in the house? And it's like, kind of, you know, but there's ways to make it fun. So our initiative, because movement is a piece of what our program, which is FNEP, it's the Expanded Food and Nutrition Education Program. And movement is a piece to healthy living and wellness. So we're starting a social media drive with the hashtag FitFunFebruary to talk about ways to move in winter that are just fun. You know, it's not that intense workout, but if you stay moving in winter, if you're someone like me who loves to run and train, you're not gonna just go from nothing to a full-on sprint in the road, and especially as we get older, that's less and less easy to do, and you're more likely to injure yourself if you do that. So making it fun, especially in the winter, because it just gets so dull and dry. Anything we can do, a game, a movement, a strength training piece, something to break up the day and keep ourselves moving and healthy is a great thing to do. So we're hoping to get everybody charged up in February, blast them through March, and then hopefully, you know, snow is gone and we can get back outside in April.
Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah,
for sure.
So,
okay, what's next?
So do you want to talk about the aerobic piece? So we broke Fit Fun February into, I guess I'm still talking, I'm sorry. I'm the one that's amped about this. This is my trouble that I created. So we broke Fit Fun February into 4 weeks featuring 4 different pieces of fitness. So the first piece is aerobic. So you want to get moving and get your heart rate up. It's great for cardiovascular health. It's good to get your circulation going. It'll help keep you warm when you're cold. So that's our first piece. The second piece is strength. So building strength helps with your endurance for the cardiovascular piece. So we're working on our muscles and our bone density, which also starts to decrease as we age. So we want to put load onto our bones and muscles to keep them strong, and when they're in a state of repair, they're in a state of strengthening. So then the stretch piece, or yoga, whichever works for you, will lengthen and relax those muscles and make them more resilient to, if you wobble or fall, you're less likely to injure yourself. And then our last piece is the fun piece. So it's just a family game, any sort of game that you can do with your family to get everybody moving with you, and kind of bring your mentality forward into your whole home. So Trish is going to take over. I'm going to stop talking. Trish is going to take over the aerobic piece, and we'll go from there.
Okay, so I just wanted to add to what you were saying too, is with strength training, building muscle is important because the more muscle you have in the wintertime, that will help keep you warmer when you're not physically active. My husband's been playing video games for the last few days, and he's like, it's so cold in here. And I've said, well, you wouldn't be so cold if you were moving around or had some muscle.
You just outed him.
I did. So, sorry. But it's true. Like, I find even for myself, if I'm just sitting around, not like if I'm watching TV or reading, I'm freezing and I have to have a sweater and a blanket. But if I'm doing housework, then I am pulling off layers, and then I'm then in a t-shirt and and comfortable. So that's important. And also with yoga, there tends to be a lot of balance practice, and as like Heather was saying, as we age and we have issues with losing muscle tone and losing bone density, we also tend to lose our balance. And so anything that you can do with yoga to help keep your balance and your bone density and whatever is really important as we age. So anyway, okay. So I guess now I will, what I'm going to do is a couple of Zumba moves. The first one will be a merengue kind of a move, and then the second one will be a salsa kind of a move. I'm not a dancer. And I literally just practiced this morning. I was supposed to work on it yesterday, but just some issues came up and I just couldn't get really motivated. But I think I've got this. So I'm going to take this off. And
let's see, are we going to dance with you then?
Oh, yeah. Can't leave her hanging.
So I will describe it first and do it, and then if you guys want to go ahead and do it along with me, then we can do that. So the merengue move is and I don't have any music, so we'll just have to pretend that we are hearing some good salsa music. Okay, so the merengue is a 6-step move, and so you're going to start with your feet together, and then you're going to go out, and then in, out, and then in. So it's a 1, okay, hold on. 1 and, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I did this better earlier. This is so bad. Okay.
That's because you're on television.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Okay, here we go. Okay. 1, 2, nope, it's not that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
How's that? You
Yeah.
guys, you got it? You got it?
Yep.
I think so.
Okay, so now we're going to do it, and then go ahead and try to add some arm movements. Well, if you're comfortable. If you're not, that's okay. All right, so I'm going to put the mic back, and hopefully we can do this. All right, here we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2.
Yeah.
1,
Yeah.
All right. How's that feel?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You feel your heart rate going up
You
a
kind of
little
get your
bit?
hips into it a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
That's cool.
Okay, so hopefully the salsa goes a little better. Okay, so the salsa is also a 6-step move, and you start off with one foot and you step out. Your other foot comes up, you step back, and then your opposite leg goes back. Your front foot comes up, down, back. Does that make sense?
Do it again.
Okay. So you're stepping out, up, back, back.
Okay.
Up. Right?
Yep.
Does that feel good? Does
Yep.
that feel right? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to put the mic. And then, so we'll do that, and then we'll stop, and we will start off with the opposite leg. So we're going to
Woo.
start with our right leg first. Okay. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5, 6. 5, 6. 1. How's that feel? Good?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so go ahead and stop.
Whoa.
And now we're going to start.
Wait. We should have just kept going. I think I got this.
Okay.
Should have just switched.
I didn't practice that. I'll do better next time.
It's fine.
Okay, so
We're
now
good.
we're going to start with our left leg, and we're going to step out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How we doing?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Okay, so there we go.
Sweet.
Fun.
Yeah. All right.
So the key to aerobic exercise is you want to move enough that it's a little challenging to talk while you're moving or after you're done. But if you're not able to talk because you're so out of breath, then you're going too hard and too fast. If you are doing an activity that's supposed to be aerobic and you are not breathing heavy at all, then you need to step it up. And that's so. All right. So that's what I got.
Yay.
Thanks.
Okay, if you guys are going to trade places, be very, very
Yeah,
Yep.
we'll be good. I'm just
Very
going to slide
careful.
over here next.
Okay.
Yes.
okay.
All right, so then we move into the strength building piece. Super simple. We can change it up a little bit depending on how much time we have. But just to start, so we're bringing our stance about shoulder distance. So your feet are in line with your hips. I like to keep a soft knee. It protects all of your joints that way, okay? So we're coming down into a squat to start. And when we're in a squat, we want to make sure that we can move our toes, okay? That means that the weight is in the backs of our heels and the backs of the legs, okay? And we can kind of time it to the breath so that when we come up, we exhale. So if we inhale and come down and exhale and stand. We're going to add on to this in a second. Yoga comes into this all the time. If we come down and hold a second, we want to think about tucking the hips under, tucking our belly in, and that protects the low back, okay? And if we wanted to, we could extend the arms up over our heads, keeping our shoulders nice and low, and this is chair pose for yoga. But we're not going to stay here. We're going to start to add a movement to this. So when we come up, let's go back down. And this time when we come up, we're doing a leg lift and switching sides. So we're working the outsides of the legs. We're working our glutes, our quads, and our hamstrings. Okay. And if this feels great to you, then you can start to add a little bit of a jump. Let me think how it goes. So you come up and out, and up and out. But again, perceived rate of exertion. If you can't talk, don't do the jump.
Yeah, think I won't jump.
Oh no! Oh no! We exploded Gail's microphone. They're never going to have us back.
That's okay.
All right. We'll let Gail get put back together, and then we can move into
I have trouble with these,
a little yoga.
with those things.
Don't trip.
All of a sudden there it was, laying on the floor.
Oh no! So while we're doing that, we'll let that. I'll stay with strength one more time because there was a move that I really debated on doing, but I love, and it comes from that whole jumping jack piece, or that squat piece, but it's a jumping jack squat. So if you're not ready to do a full jumping jack, you could do a half jack, okay? But we add the squat in too. So it's jumping jack, squat, jumping jack, squat, jumping jack, squat. Are you? Well, no. I was waiting. I was taking up time, so you could get your mic back together. Are you together? Are you good?
It's together.
Okay. So let's move into the yoga piece. So it doesn't take long to get your heart rate up when you haven't been doing a whole lot.
That's true.
All right, so this is why it's good. We'll be ready to, like I said, ready to run by April. So I start with toe yoga when I was teaching chair classes. Really, if chair yoga is an option for you, but you can get up and down out of a chair, you want to. So we start standing, and we start by working the feet, because we don't think about our feet are our base. That's the root, and it grounds us, and then everything moves from there. So we want to keep our feet strong, our ankles strong, and have a nice base. So we start with just coming up on our toes and coming down. So we're going to try it 10 times. And you can connect the breath to this too. So you're inhaling to rise, exhale to lower. If you want to be aerobic and bounce with it, you can. And some people would, like a very plyometric, like soft knee, right? You could do that. Yeah, but we're trying to be calm.
One of the cameramen is doing the toe thing with us.
Which I appreciate.
In work boots, so that's
amazing.
Impressive.
Yeah, and that is one piece, like I like to get out of shoes and work the feet because they just don't get that kind of attention. Now I've totally lost count. I have no idea how many times we've done this. So let's go to curling the toes in. Okay, so we're just drawing towards the body and then laying the toes flat. Drawing in. So, and my fingers will tend to go with my toes.
Well, it's kind of hard to demonstrate toes, so yeah, that makes sense.
Well, and you think about the neurology. So our brains work with our fingers daily and tell them what to do, to type, to cook, anything like that. But how often are we telling our toes what to do? So this is actually good brain training also.
Okay.
All right. So once we've done that a few times, now this is where it starts to get super fun. You want to raise the toes a few times and try and spread your toes out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That feels amazing.
Yeah. This is not a conversation that our brains and toes have very often. So yeah, when you first start doing it, it's like, we're doing what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what my toes are saying.
Mm-hmm.
It is your problem.
Yeah, and I used to do this weekly, and I haven't been, and I can tell, like, I don't have the, you can see your fingers going like this and your toes going like,
Yeah, you can, there's these things, I've got a set of them at home that you can, they're called yoga toes. I'm not sure what it's made out of, but it's something that you rinse them with water to get them moist, and then you put them on your feet, your toes come all the way through, and then it keeps your toes spread apart.
Wow.
And you can just, it's supposed to be really good for your feet just to have them on your toes for like 10 minutes a day.
Neato.
I'll check that
And
out.
my feet, whenever I use them, my feet feel amazing when I take them off.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, again, we don't realize until we get older the problems that we can have with our feet, plantar fasciitis and other issues. And so if you're doing these toe yoga moves, that may help prevent that from happening, or it may help it to feel better.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So the last piece to this is to start to touch just your little toe down to the floor and then your big toe. I never saw anybody that could get all 5 to individually go to the floor, so we're pretty much just...
You might have to be double jointed to be able to do that.
It's really hard at first. You can get it, but yeah.
Yeah. I come close to being able to do it. You know, it's just like slowly moving.
Yep, and you may start to feel it in the muscles along the shin bone and the calves too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like in belly dance when you're playing finger cymbals. I guess that's supposed to not only exercise your fingers and hands, but all of your arm muscles too.
Oh, I'm sure it does. Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. So then from here, now that we've got our feet nice and warmed up and we've given them some attention, we can move into our chairs now and do a few stretches. And these are great stretches if you are stuck in your chair for work, if you have an office job or whatever, or you just need a break because you've been on your feet and you just want to stretch. Grab a chair and you can.
All right.
So should I still be in the middle now, or am I? Yeah, probably, huh? Here we go.
Yeah, probably.
All right. And I have not damaged any cords. Hooray. All right. So we want to come to the edge of the chair so that we have space behind us to move, okay? And we do want to connect with the breath. So we're bringing the arms up and overhead, circle sweeping the arms, exhaling down through center. Just connecting with the breath a few times here. One more just like this, and then we'll change it up. Bringing the hands down through center, placing them on the thighs. We might want to create a little bit of space, bringing the knees to shoulder width. And on an inhale, we're lifting through the chest, maybe looking up a little bit. The low back is going to arch. And on an exhale, the motion starts in the low back, and we start to curl the spine. Our gaze may come down towards the floor. So we're flowing with the breath here, breathing and reaching with the chest, looking up, being careful with the neck, and exhaling to round. We might roll the shoulders forward when we really get to the top of that curl, but we're being gentle with ourselves. And this is a cat-cow, but in a chair.
This feels amazing.
It is really good. If there is one yoga move that I think people should do every day, it is this one. And I tend to do it every day. And we'll do a couple more like this, and then we'll change. One more inhale to come back to center. Let's bring the arms back into it. So we're exhaling the arms low, and then when we inhale, arms coming up overhead, down through center one more time, and then we're going to change this gesture so that when we reach, we're coming back out with that circle sweep and sweeping to the side. So a little bit of a twist here. You might be able to grab the back of your chair, but let's keep it flowing. Inhaling to center, exhaling to the other side.
Oh, that feels good.
Little spinal twist. And our breath is really fun to play with here too. So if you think about it, breathing with your mouth open, which if you've been wearing your mask a lot in stores, you might breathe with your mouth open a lot. I do. So you can hear that, just like you're trying to fog up a glass. And once you have that down, try fogging up the glass with your mouth closed. And you get this Vader sounding, Darth Vader-like breath which kids love. So if you want to teach your kids Vader breathing, you're teaching them yoga breath too. With this next one, let's hold for a minute. So we can, the arm that is against your thigh, you can kind of create some resistance there. You might get a little bit deeper twist if you push against your outer thigh, keeping that breath. But that's called Ujjayi breathing. And it's very good for the body and relaxing too. And then we'll breathe and reach and go to the other side. My kids knew if they heard me in the kitchen doing Vader breath to leave.
That was the one.
Things were not good.
Mom's had enough.
All right, and then let's breathe in and come back to center. And exhale, hip hinging into a forward fold. Let's just hang here a second. Let the shoulders relax, let the hands relax. We'll fold over as far as feels comfortable to us today. Trusting our honest body, letting go of our ego body. Which means even if you think you should be able to do it, but it's not comfortable, you won't do that. Breathing in, coming up. And let's move with that forward fold. Exhaling, swan diving the arms out, forward folding. Breathing and reaching to rise. Exhaling to lower down. And our next breath brings us back into center. Bring hands into prayer posture, namaste. And we'll work our legs a little bit. So we can hang on to the chair if that feels comfortable to us. We can place our hands on our thighs, whatever feels good to us today. But we're just extending the legs out, flexing the feet a little bit. You might feel a stretch along the backs of the legs. Just taking turns here. And then while we're at it, why don't we do a little bit of a foot circle, circle the ankle. So extending out, maybe 5, then the other way, and switch sides. And the other way. And then we're going to move into a pigeon pose, seated pigeon. It takes some hip mobility to do. So if it feels uncomfortable or you don't do this a lot, you might start here and just try crossing your legs somewhere along your shin bone to open that hip. And if that feels fine, you'll stay right there. If you're not feeling much of a stretch there, you gradually start to move your leg up until you come to this 90-degree angle with your grounded leg, and then your 90-degree angle here essentially. And then you would exhale into that. If it's intense, you breathe in and come right back up. If it feels good, you can stay there. And you might find after you've flowed through it a few times that you can hold the pose down. So we can give that a try. Whatever feels good to you, wherever you stop, that's your stop. It's perfect. And then breathing into rise. And we can switch legs again. And again, taking that time to, if you've not done this, to find where your place of comfort and mobility is. It's just that perfect challenge of stretch and comfort that you're looking for, okay? And side-to-side imbalances are totally normal. So you may not be able to do that on one leg, and you could on the other. And it's fine, you're normal. All right, so let's exhale down. Flowing through this a few times. And then let's hold here. And then our next breath brings us back up to center. And we can play with our arms a little bit. So breathing and reaching. I may turn around for this so you can see. This is a cow face posture. This is going to be fun. Chair yoga. All right. So cow face pose looks like, so one arm is going to rise, the other arm is going to come low. And then you're going to reach, aiming towards being able to connect your hands. If you can't, and you have a towel or a sock or any sort of strap, you can use that strap to get the same stretch, or your shirt, or if you have long hair in a braid, that would also work, okay? But we're working towards this. We want to be able to keep this arm mobile. We want to keep the shoulder low. So we're not scrunched up like this, because that's telling the brain that we're tense. Right. We're not tense. Life is good.
Right. Relaxing.
Yeah. And then we'll breathe and reach again. And switch sides. And again, side to side indifferences here, or imbalances. That one's not as easy for me.
This is the one that's always probably just about the hardest yoga pose for me is doing it the opposite, the second way. Yeah.
Our last arm stretch is eagle arms. So we reach out like this. We're going to cross one arm over the other. It doesn't matter which one you start with. Just remember to go the opposite way next time. So then you're going to bend your elbows up so your hands are facing you. Then they turn to face each other, and they will connect in some way. We want to keep the shoulders low again. You'll probably feel a stretch across your shoulders, maybe along the tops of the shoulders. And you want to kind of look through the hands and beyond. And just breathe. And then we can breathe and reach. And then again, switching. That cross, fold. And if you really want to get all wild about it, you can cross the opposite leg and see if you can cross your ankles. And if you were standing, that would be a full eagle pose.
Yeah, I think
I think I'll just stay like this.
Yes.
I don't want to fall out of my chair.
It's a good balancing pose when you're standing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. But for people with mobility issues, to be able to achieve this in a chair feels pretty good. All right, so let's let that go. And then when I had classes, Trish, can you reach those essential oils?
Yes.
If you're not weird about touching your own feet, which is surprising that people are, we would do a little foot massage. So, and I will pass these around. I like lavender and peppermint essential oils. So this was why that pigeon pose was really handy, because now you maybe have some hip flexibility and can do this. So you'd put your oils on your hands. I like both. You're welcome to try whichever. So this one's peppermint. And this one is lavender. So peppermint is great. I love it in the summer on your feet. And lavender is calming. I'll give you lavender and you guys can trade or whatever you like. So just to start, put that on your hands and wow, I've been barefoot today.
You can tell by how grimy your feet are, right?
Oh my. All right. So we start there.
First you put the oil on, is that right? Before you actually
Yes,
massage.
and we do this when we're sitting, and we don't do this like when we're starting a yoga practice, because it's a real good way to slip.
Oh yeah.
So everybody knows texting fingers at this point. This is one thing that technology is good for. It's a kind of a massage technique now too. So you're going to take your texting thumbs across the balls of your feet to start.
And how much pressure?
Whatever feels good to you.
Okay.
Yeah, I cannot tell you that. It's up to you. So then once we've done that a few times, we're going to take our thumb underneath a toe, starting with the big toe, and drawing a line from that toe to the heel. And you can do it a few times if it feels good, or you can just kind of move through each toe. And you might, when you get into that center arch of your foot, you might feel that like, hey. Okay. And once we've done that a few times, we're going to take each toe and make a little circle with our fingers on the tip of each toe. So we're promoting circulation. This is a wonderful thing, especially if you have circulatory issues or you have diabetes. We know that we often have circulatory problems. So if you have trouble reaching your feet and you can get someone to do this for you, or you can reach your feet and you can do this, it's just such a great thing to kind of improve the circulation. Once you get to your baby toe, go all the way back through again, because like, why not?
Right, yes.
Our feet do not get enough attention.
That is a fact.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the abuse.
Yes, yes. So then from there we want to just gently separate the toes. So 2 thumbs, separate the toes, because they get crammed into shoes way too much. And especially our tiny little dress shoes that look so delicate and feel so crappy.
In our murder.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So the last thing you want to do is because your heel is very dense cartilage. So to get circulation into the heel, you kind of have to beat it up a little, not hard. So we're lightly tapping with the side of the fist into the heel. Is that okay, Trish? Because you sound like you're killing it. Don't hurt your heel.
No, I
Love your heel.
She does sound kind of loud.
She does. She's like, she's tense, man.
Okay, I'll calm you down a little bit.
So now we're going to do the same thing on the other foot. So I'm not going to worry about trying to put my socks back on because it's going to be an ordeal. So, yep, same thing with the oils. Sure. Do you want to switch? Trish, do you want lavender?
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep, I love how this smells. Want that one? All right.
Yeah, it does smell really good.
Mm-hmm. It's a nice invigorating scent too in the morning for peppermint tea.
Yeah.
If you're trying to avoid caffeine, peppermint tea is the way to go. All right, again, so we take those texting thumbs into the balls of the feet. I mean, you can do this when you're watching TV. You can do it at night before bed. You could do it if you're not like me, like freaking out that you have too much to do. Do it in the morning before you get out of bed. That'd be a nice way to start the day.
Yeah.
All right, and then again, the thumb just under the toe and drawing that line down to the heel. Couple of times or more, whatever feels good. And it shouldn't be something that you rush. If you don't have to rush it, just enjoy it. Self-care is a hot button word, and there's a reason for that. We don't take the time. And especially when we're taking care of other people, whether you're taking care of your parents, you're taking care of your children, or you're sandwiched between them both, you're taking care of your pets, you're taking care of your dogs, you're taking care of everybody but you.
It gets that way sometimes.
It does,
Yeah.
yeah.
So then we move into the toes, little circles at the tip of each toe. Yes. And when I did this with my kids, that's exactly what I did, and they had no idea what I was doing. Yeah. And I'll out my husband because I did this when I first learned the technique. I came home and I was like, "Can I massage your feet?" And I started like tapping on his heel, and he's like, "What is that?" This is a little bit relaxing, but it's a little bit invigorating too. So we are trying to get the circulation going in the feet.
Yeah.
All right, so let's take each toe and separate.
So since I outed my husband earlier, I guess I should
figured it was
offer him a foot massage today.
Hey, why not? This is what I learned today.
Well, you know what? Haven't we already forgotten what you outed him about?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, I totally don't remember.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So if you're ever on Facebook on Fridays at 11:30, Trish, you can get more of Heather and Trish on meal planning, because this is how it goes.
Yep, meal planning with Heather and Trish at 11:30 on Fridays.
Yes.
And we literally plan our menus for the week in real time. We discuss how our menu for the previous week went. I'm going to be completely upfront, is the last 2 weeks I have failed miserably, but that's okay. You just do what you can and go from there.
Here's your
Yes.
bottle of oil.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So the last thing we would do in a chair class, this has definitely been an abbreviated chair class.
If you hand me
But-
the capo, I can
Oh,
put it
thank
back
you.
on. You're welcome.
It's just a little seated meditation. So you'd sit back in your chair, and you know you're relaxing at this point. Hopefully you feel a little bit more relaxed than you did when you started. And you're just going to connect with your breath again and let your shoulders go. Probably close your eyes. And you start to notice the top of your head. And pay attention to your forehead. And if you can work on releasing the muscles in the forehead. These are not things we think about, so that might be kind of a challenge to release the muscles in the forehead. And then coming down and relaxing the eyes. Any tension there, we release. Noticing the cheekbones. Letting go of our need to hold the smile. You can just rest. Relaxing the jaw. Noticing our placement of the tongue, finding a comfortable place within the mouth to rest the tongue. And then relaxing through the shoulders, letting our shoulders drop nice and low. Relaxing the arms, all the way down through the fingers. Noticing the chest and the belly, letting go. Resting easy in the hips. We may need to shift and adjust the hips a little bit to make sure that our weight is distributed evenly across both hips. Resting through the tops of the legs. Resting the knees. Relaxing down through the calves. Noticing the placement of the feet. And imagining that we've created an open channel. And imagining positive energy at the top of our head. And as we breathe in, we call that energy in to the body, down through that open channel, and all the way down through the feet. Exhaling. Easy breath, and just imagining that channel of energy, whether it looks like light to you, a color. It could even be snow, light, fluffy snow falling around you. And breathing in that peace. And then taking a breath to come back. Wiggling the fingers and the toes. Squeezing and releasing the hands, maybe flexing and pointing the feet. And taking one more breath, reaching up through center. Exhaling, hands down into prayer. Namaste. And there's a condensed chair yoga, a little bit longer than our other sessions.
Things.
Yes, but it's so fun to do. So
That was awesome.
Now you have a game to play. We've got 7.5 minutes.
we can
left.
do that.
Okay.
because our game is super easy. The game is called Fitness Leaders. And all it is you would gather your family around, and it's a lot like Simon Says. So we've done this whole demo. And so taking from that whole demo whatever move or pose you most enjoyed and leading that for your family or for your group. So, gosh, how am I going to pick a favorite right now? I will just say today, because I know that I need to take care of a hamstring injury, so my favorite pose would be the half jumping jack that I need to start letting myself do instead of the full jumping jack. So I would go, and you guys would follow along. So I'm leading this pose.
See, I guess I'll move over here.
Yep, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, and back. Yeah, and we can kind of bend into it a little bit and get a little bit lungy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, and then whoever wants to be the next fitness leader would take over whenever they feel
Okay,
so
I'll
called.
let Tricia do it.
All right.
Okay, so I think I'll just go back to the salsa.
Okay.
So we'll start with our right leg, and we'll step out, and then center, and then other leg back. I need to go up a little bit. Okay, so out, center, back, center, out, center, back, center, out, center.
Yeah.
So now if we stop and we go with our other leg, out, center, back, center, out, center, back, center.
I messed it up.
Oh no!
No, I got it now. I'm good.
Yay.
I want to keep moving on the same foot. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm supposed to pick something we've already done.
You can do whatever
you
you
can do whatever
want.
you want.
There are no rules. Our games really
Oh.
don't have a whole lot of structure because they're supposed to be fun, right?
Oh, okay. Well, let's do a belly dance move.
Okay.
Where we spread our feet somewhat apart.
Okay.
It's called the full circle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, you'll need to press you want to be careful of your lower back, and you need to press the hips forward, and then out to the side, and then back, and the other side,
Yep.
and the front, and then you make it
Smooth it out.
one really big
Flowing.
circle.
Yeah.
Too bad I'm not dressed for.
Right? Can you imagine?
Okay, then the other side.
Okay.
We'll go.
Yeah.
I like it.
And then
You can feel
there's
your
another
hips.
thing. When you're going towards the back, you can do an arm movement.
Oh, there we go.
Wow. Take this home to the hubby.
Yeah. Look what I learned today, honey.
Okay.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Okay, well, now we're down to a little under 4 minutes. What would you guys want to say in your last 4 minutes?
So I think with our Fun Fit February campaign on Facebook, just look, if you go to Nutrition Educators of CCE, Chautauqua County, and we will each week, we'll post at least one activity. And so it'll be, for 1 week, it'll be aerobic, and then it'll be like a strength training, a yoga, and then what was
The game.
The game,
Fun game.
yes, the game. And then also along with those posts, we post recipes and other tips for trying to eat more healthily and trying to avoid those pitfall foods that aren't really as good for us.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. It's such a
Like-
good time.
Like the chocolate?
well, chocolate in itself isn't bad. It's all the sugar
It's
and
the
other stuff that's
sugar.
added
It's
to
the
it.
sugar.
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
So the darker
yeah.
the chocolate, the healthier it is. And the other thing that we're encouraging too is if you want to join us in our Fun Fit February, you can hashtag Fun Fit February and then post a video of you and your family doing something active and fun, or a fit tip, you know, so.
Yeah, we'd really love to get the whole county just up and moving, and aware that FNUP is here for you. We're here for you. So if you're struggling with some nutrition issues or wanting to get moving in some way, you know, we're happy to meet with you. Even if it is, you just send us a message on Facebook or email or call. We're happy to chat. Food, fun, fitness.
And if you are somebody who thinks that eating healthy is not affordable, that is what we specialize in. We teach you how to shop for healthy foods so that you can afford them. You don't have to buy all organic food. And if you want to try, so something that I talked about in, what was it, when we were talking about the pasta? Oh, so we were practicing with our other regional educators. We were practicing talking to participants about their nutritional needs. And I had a person who, she said that she really likes to eat a lot of pasta, but we know that eating too much refined grains is not good for you. So I suggested red lentil pasta, which when you eat it kind of has the same mouth feel as regular pasta and tastes pretty good. And then the person I was working with brought up the point, well, how can I get that at the food bank? And I thought, you know what? You're right. That's not something that just everybody can just go and buy all the time. But if you're on if you're on a fixed income, if your grocery budget is pretty low, try it once a month, you know, and at least once a month you've swapped out a refined pasta for something that is is healthier. So those are the kinds of things that we try to teach.
Well, even if you buy the lentils, you know, you can make homemade things with them.
Yep.
And you don't really have to wait, you know, soak them ahead of time, because the lentils, like the bigger beans, they don't really have to be soaked ahead of time. So if you don't think to do it ahead of time.
Right, or if you have an instant pot, a pressure cooker, they'll cook faster too. So, but anyway, so that's what we do. We just try to give you some tips on how to afford healthy foods and recipes and other tips and tricks.
Well, we've come to the end of another episode of Fresh Perspectives, and I want to thank you guys for coming on again. It's been a lot of fun exercising with you today.
Thanks.
And I'll see the rest of you in the viewing audience on the next episode.